Hey guys, Savage Joy here with Real Progressives. So today I wanted to switch it up and do something really silly and impromptu and weird, but also something that I'm kind of going to try to prove a point with. Um, so today we have a special guest. This is Duchess. Say hi, Duchess. This is her debut. Um, so the reason why I have invited Duchess on the show is because I wanted to make a point that people are talking about, Hillary 2020. Granted, it's probably not any of us because we are actually intelligent enough not to. However, there are people who are genuinely saying that that she should run. So my point of inviting Duchess, who is apparently falling asleep, is that she has a better chance than Hillary does. So that being said, I think we should all work on getting something together so we can get Duchess to run. She's a rescue. We have had her, my husband and I adopted her over 8 years ago. And she is pretty much the best thing in the universe. And she loves Bernie. She loves third-party voters. She loves basically everything we love. She's not really a good listener because she sleeps a lot, but she will do what I tell her. So that's good. But yeah, so I think people are treating this so lightly that they're literally like, let's just try third time's a charm. It's not like it's the state of our country or anything like that. Yes, Duchess 2020, you hear that, baby? So seeing these people around, it's bad enough, you got, freaking creepy Joe Biden, you got Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, just all of these freaking neo-libs. I'm sorry, but Duchess may get written in from me if those are the so-called choices. So she's festive in her attire. And I have trained her well, because she does growl every time she sees a picture of Hillary. I have taught her that. She does know MMT, Jenna. She does. Right. Yes. So speaking of that, I'm not just going to make this a silly show about my rescue, but so a few things happened today too that were just so bizarre. Alexandria OC, who I've had on here, actually made a post stating that Joe Crowley got someone to run third party so they can try and take out Alex. So I guess the translation would be about basically he's saying that third parties are viable, I guess. The Dems always, vote shame anyone who didn't fall in line and vote blue no matter who. However, by him trying to get someone to actually run third party to try and take someone out, isn't that kind of acknowledging the fact that he thinks one of them could win? That's kind of how I read into it. Oops. Eric, yes. Dutchie, I think you're going to get some votes. So she, you know what? She's not, Gabriel. You're totally right. First of all, the woman can't even stand up without falling over all the time. Let's just like, it's not even about all of her, her freaking, just everything like that, all of her drama and everything. She is not healthy at all, and mentally either. But Nancy, my name is Joy. You don't have to watch this. If you don't want, you can exit. I do a show with candidates who are running across the country. I've interviewed over 90 of them. I'm doing a show about people propping up Hillary. So if you're a fan of Hillary, you may not like this. So anyway, yeah, right. So this is like totally, yes, Jack, correct. I do minimum of 3 shows a week, and it's really rewarding and it's really awesome. However, I get exhausted because I work full time too. And there's so much to be pissed off about and so much to be upset about that I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do something so completely absurd today and just do something with Duchess because she has a better chance against Trump. And she's making noises. She wants to give me kisses. Yes, Ray, I agree. She does want to take a shit on Tom Perez's head, just like the bird did. I think she's ready for a nap because she's only napped about 18 hours. Gabriel, I've met Tulsi. I like her. I think that, well, I know for a fact that Byrne was going to choose her for VP. I am annoyed that he didn't announce it because I think she could have gotten that vagina vote because so many people voted for Hillary just because she was a woman. And I think that if she would have, if Byrne would have announced, look, we're going to have Tulsi, then we would have gotten some of those people who were like, well, I really just want a woman. We would have gotten them too. So she hasn't said anything about running, but I would not be surprised if she and Byrne did a joint ticket. I personally would prefer Nina. I've met Nina several times, and I love her energy, and I love, just her fury. And I love the fact that she does not take any shit from people on Twitter or from the Democratic Party. She is a Dem. However, she holds them accountable 24/7. And that's what's important. To me, I don't really care what you're registered as. The important thing is that if you are going to be a Dem, you should be proud of your party. It is so easy to just talk about, your grievances with Trump 24/7. However, when it comes down to your own party, are you flaunting that you're a Democrat? If you are, I don't know why. If you're registered one, hey, personal choice, go for it. Doesn't affect me. But if you're in that party and you are not calling them on their shit, then you're an enabler and you are contributing to the fact that they will probably lose again. Crystal, I've met her I've met her like 3 times, however, not since I've been on this show. So yeah, you know what? RP, you are right. She doesn't take shit from anyone, even CNN, NBC. It's beautiful. It is freaking beautiful. I told Nina's husband that I said, I'm a heathen, but your ass takes me to church because you see her come out and she's just like, we will rise up, and she just gets everyone going bananas, and it's inspiring and it's awesome. And I think if we're going to have a first woman vice or president or something, it should be someone who's probably not under investigation, and also someone who's actually a good example. Nina doesn't really have any controversy. I'm sure they'll try and dig something up, because for some reason shills absolutely hate Nina, hate her. They get so freaking nasty on Twitter, and quite racist. Duchess said she wants to lay down. Thank you, Duchess, for joining us. Thank you, baby. They just attack her, absolutely attack her. And a lot of it does come down to sound really racist. The grievances I have with Tulsi, when I met Tulsi, I told her, I support the fact that she stepped down from the DNC, unlike Debbie Wasserman Schill. Tulsi had enough self-respect to actually say, whoa, hold up, I'm feeling a connection to Bernie, and I'm supposed to be impartial. And that woman has so much class and respect that she said, I'm not doing my job because I don't like Hillary, and I'm really feeling Bernie. And she stepped down. That's class. So if Debbie Wasserman Schill would have done that, which never would have happened, but, that would have been a different story. Yes, Crystal, that is correct. And the thing, yes, Mark, she would be the first bitch president. So the grievance I have with Tulsi is actually some of her military voting background. She has posted some things on Syria in the past, like 3 years ago, that I really hope she's changed her stance on. And she very well may have. When I wrote Bernard in for the general, I wrote her as VP because that's how we were told. We were told if we're all going to write it in, we need to make it uniform. So it needs to say Bernard Sanders / Tulsi Gabbard. So I told her straight up when I met her, I was like, I wrote you and Bern in. And she was really nice, and we had a great conversation. So honestly, I would support either her or Nina. I think we need, if we're going to have a woman, it needs to be a strong woman without a bunch of controversy. And they also need to actually care about things and not just run on having a vagina. Identity politics gives us Trump. Voting for someone because of their sex or because of they're a person of color or anything like that is dangerous. We need to prop people up who deserve to be propped up. I don't care what ethnicity someone is or what sex they are. If you are a good person, you have good intentions, you have a good platform, you're progressive, you don't take corporate money and stuff, that's what gets my vote. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care. To me, that is so completely secondary. It's ruling way too many people's votes. That's what happened with Hillary. When I would canvass for, yes, tribalism, absolutely. When I would canvass for Bernie and phone bank and stuff, all I heard was from people who supported Hillary was, as a woman, you wouldn't vote for Hillary? That's a shame. No, you know what? I wouldn't vote for her because of many, many reasons, but also because she's married to someone accused of rape, and I don't really think that's very feminist but okay. So there's so much hypocrisy, and I can see that happening now. I'm sure all of you guys can with Kamala Harris. It's already, or like some absurd bullshit like Oprah. These it's not okay for Trump to be, president because he was a game show host, but Oprah, oh yeah, totally cool. She's a woman, of course. I want real people. I want real people who have grown up knowing what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. I want people who have worked jobs. I want people who have been around and activists for longer than since November 9th, 2016. I want people who are in this for the right reasons. And notoriety and things like this is just not, it's not good enough. And we have the advantageous options of learning these things about people from online. Back in the day, we were like, when I grew up, I've been voting Dem for 22 years. And to me, the way I always thought was, okay, Democrats good, Republicans bad. Democrats stand for this, this, and this. Of course, they don't act on it. But back then, I didn't realize that. So I unconsciously was vote blue no matter who, because I didn't understand that there was so much more that went into it. And then 2015 came around, and like so many, I was just like completely blown away with just how many, abhorrent things go on, especially with taking money from corporations and things like that. And I realized that the vote blue no matter who is so completely toxic. And that could be one of the, the worst things that people are doing. Because if you want to register Dem, okay, fine. But nobody should vote party. Everyone should vote person. Everyone. Voting party lines is just, it's giving you the same thing over and over and over. And the thing that's so sad is that Trump inadvertently actually helped us in a really fucked up way, because he got so many people off their asses who wanted to go to brunch. We've all seen those signs, if Hillary won, we'd be at brunch. I would not be bragging about that. I think that's disgusting, and I think it's sad, and I think it's entitled, and I think it's privileged, and I think it's pathetic that I am so sorry your brunch is interrupted to protest one day a year to be mildly inconvenienced. That's the kind of mindset there is. So if it took Trump to get these people off their asses, as disgusting as it is, at least we can say that one good thing came of it. You know what, Hector? I saw it and I was just like, I was sad, to say the least. So, and I kind of digress, but I think it's really important to, consider these things, because 2020 isn't too far off, but also because we are still in the primaries. I have some more amazing guests coming up. We still have 20 more primaries coming up. They actually go into mid-September. And then we have the general in November. So it's really important that we still research people, and we still, and also as far as research, and I've said this on my shows before, don't take someone who says they're progressive and just say, oh, they're progressive. That word is getting overused hardcore. So that word doesn't mean much. You hear someone like neolibs are coming out and saying they're progressive. And there's also people who have this scale. Well, he's the most progressive candidate in that district. So, I mean, Trump was more progressive than Hillary. I mean, I don't know. What does that matter? I don't care. Like, how, yeah, Lynn, that's the other thing. I've asked candidates, what is your definition of progressive? I mean, technically, it's progress. And if they can't answer that, it does make me question, is this just like some kind of trend? Is it, I'm progressive? People like Beto O'Rourke, he's getting touted as progressive. Dude campaigned for Debbie Wasserman Schill. He is not progressive. He took millions from corporations and then all of a sudden stopped. And now he's getting praised. No, dude, he stopped because he already has enough money. Use your brains. Like, these are the things we need to watch out for. There are also people who, the second I see, Facebook or Twitter blowing up with, so-and-so won and it's so great and blah, blah, blah. First thing I do is look up who their contributions are from. And it's definitely not always good. So don't take that word just because they say they're progressive. Also, do your research. It's not just saying the word progressive, and it's not just platform. I have had guests who have on their platform, they stand for, say healthcare for all. They'll word it like that, kind of vague. And then I'll ask them, do they support Medicare for all or universal health care? And they'll say, well, no, not good enough. Put it in writing, put it down, put Medicare for all or universal health care, or else it's not progressive. It's, trying to make the ACA better, which is, incremental change, which means nothing. So, we have to actually research these things. I've interviewed about 90 candidates from across the country, and I have endorsed personally 6 of them. I do my research. I don't mess around, because if it's going to be my endorsement, not like I'm anyone special, but if as many candidates as I deal with, if I'm going to promote someone and put my picture on their page as endorsing them, I want to actually explain why I'm endorsing them and, have it be true. I put a lot of thought in that shit, and knock on wood, those 6 people I've endorsed, I still stand by 100%. Yeah, Mark, good point. Hillary said, quote unquote, I'm a progressive who gets things done. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Get things done, like steal money from Haitians who have lost their homes, or offer people of color hot sauce. Those are getting things done, I guess. But I digress. That's a really good example, Mark, because she's someone who used the term progressive, yet it took her literally 9 months to, quote unquote, come out of the woods, her words, to even step up to Trump. And it was pathetic. They've been friends for over a decade. That speaks. Her saying he should run as a Pied Piper and have the media treat him like a serious candidate. That speaks. So people who think Dems are so much better need to acknowledge the fact that so many of them have the same exact donors and vote the same way. Last night, I had an amazing candidate, Tyler Vega. He's in Washington, and he's running in a progressive party. He's an amazing person, just totally awesome. And we were talking about that and how the Democrats voted for a $717 billion war budget increase. And in that, when I say voted for, I mean Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, and Elizabeth Warren, everyone's favorite progressive. Why people still want Elizabeth Warren to run, I don't understand. I don't. She is fake. She's completely fake. She came out last week. They were doing a protest for the immigration violations. And there were like hundreds of people sitting on the floor in, I'm guessing it was a Capitol building or something. And they're sitting there chanting with signs and singing. And here comes Elizabeth Warren, and she stands on the balcony, watches them for maybe a minute and a half, just watches, does not go down there or anything. And people are going crazy in the comments, calling her a hero, saying that she's fighting for all of us. Dude, she literally walked out of her office building down the hall and stood there and watched you for a minute and a half. And she's your hero? It's incredible to me. She also didn't give a shit about the people from Standing Rock. She also betrayed Bernie, like, so, oh my God, don't get me started on that shit. But she is not a progressive. She is not. She betrayed the movement. She betrayed Bernie. She betrayed a lot of progressive values that she led us to believe she had. And when Hillary came out with her own super PAC, this was way after Trump won. She started her own super PAC. Elizabeth Warren came out and tweeted that she loves the idea and that she supports it. So it's not like she was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have endorsed her. That was stupid. No, she came out and endorsed her super PAC afterwards. So, there were times people thought Cory Booker was a progressive. I did. This was like 3 years ago. I was like, oh, this guy has some cool qualities. I like it. But the more people film them and the more we have access to their voting history and things like this, the more we learn that, lack of a better term, and to sound trite, but talk is cheap. People need to step up and do more research. And also, with the primaries coming, even if your state already voted, like I'm in Pennsylvania, we voted in May. I still, support candidates across the country. I think it's important that we still actually do our work as far as phone banking, canvassing, texting, sending, videos to people through Messenger who live in their states, posting and tagging people and saying, hey, do you know anyone in this district? This is a good candidate. We learned in 2016, we are the media. It's us. They're going to show an empty podium when, Bernie draws 27,000 people in a room and he's standing there giving a speech, and they're going to show an empty podium on the news instead. That's what we're dealing with. So we have to be the ones to promote the right candidates and to get people knowledgeable. I can tell you for a fact, one of the biggest reasons Alex O.C. won is because those people in her area, in New York as a whole, worked their asses off. I have not seen a campaign work that hard since Bernie. Those people were freaking just so devoted and so hardcore. And it was reminiscent of 2016. It was like people finally got that energy back. And that's what made her win. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad she won. But, you know, the majority of it is because they put in the work. So, like I said, we still have 20 primaries. You know, whether it's promoting my show with these candidates or however you want to do it, we still have our work cut out for us, because when it comes to 2020, people say they would like a progressive president. We're not going to get that unless we get progressives in now. 2018, we get some better people in, then we can vote for a better person in 2020. If everything stays the way it is and we get no more, you know, progressives elected, good luck on 2020. Good luck. It's Trump against a neolib. That's what we have. So we have to make sure we get more populist, progressive, whatever you want to call it, DSA, Democratic Socialist, any of those candidates in now, so that it will lead to a better 2020. So this show just went off on a tangent, and you guys know I'm good with that. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'm glad it wasn't just a really silly one with Duchess. But tomorrow night, I have a young lady who is absolutely blowing up right now. Alex OC actually did endorse her. She's a Justice Dem. Her name is Sarah Smith. She's in Washington. She is she is blowing up. She has the potential to do an Alex. She has that potential. So I'm looking forward to interviewing her tomorrow. Monday will be a really fun show. I am actually going to have a basement dweller show. It is the 2-year anniversary this month of when we were at the DNC convention. And I am having 3 Bernie delegates join me. And we're going to discuss, you know, what the past 2 years have been like since we were at the convention. And a couple of them will be in my basement filming with me. So it should be really interesting. This is the beauty of having no money and no crew or anything. It's awesome. Right now I'm in a spare bedroom, and Monday I'll be in my basement with 2 Bernie delegates. So we have those shows coming up, so I'm hype about those. I also have some other awesome candidates next week. So thank you guys for tuning in. And let me get, come here. Say goodbye. Here's Duchess. So she can say goodbye. Say thank you. So I hope I made you guys at least laugh and smile a little. That was my, okay, thank you. That was my intention. But I'm glad I got to say some productive things as well. So thank you guys so much, and hope to see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye, Dutchie.